One of the first activities that is likely to become problematic if you have knee osteoarthritis is the stairs. Now, what will typically happen if you have knee pain is you'll start to go up one at a time, like so, or you'll do a little sideways shuffle up or down because that's more comfortable. So if that is you, keep watching until the very end, because in today's video, we're going to be talking about how you can master the stairs, overcome that discomfort, and get back to using the stairs as you were before. Now, certainly if you are going through a flare-up or if your symptoms are highly irritable, your pain level is quite significant, then a period of doing that sort of thing and modifying your activity is a good idea. However, what we want to avoid is doing that for a prolonged period of time, because we do get into a cycle of compensating and making things a lot easier. Actually, over time, things are going to get more sensitive in the tissues around the affected joint. They're going to get weaker and more deconditioned, and that is actually going to make the pain worse long term. So ride out the flare up, get your pain under control, and then what we want to do is gradually expose ourselves to things that are a little bit uncomfortable in a safe way, in a gradual way, and in a very progressive way. So we're going to start off with the easiest regression that we can, and then we're going to build up from there. So find your bottom step at home. You're going to hold on with both hands. So you should feel nice and safe and nice and confident. We're going to go right leg is the affected leg. You're going to have your right leg on the step, and you can put as much weight through the support as you need to. Now, the idea is you want to try and push up on the affected leg and then come back down. If that's too uncomfortable to begin with, just do 25% or 50% of the movement. So it might be that you aim for between 5 and 10 repetitions of just doing halfway and back down, halfway and back down. Once that feels quite comfortable, then you can build right up to taking the whole step. So pushing all the way through that leg until their knee is fully extended, and then back down, pushing all the way up and then back down. Once you find that quite comfortable, then you can reduce the support. So you can go down from having 2 hands just to having 1 hand, and then you're going to do the same thing. The progression here, pretty obvious. You're going to go from 1 hand to no hands. So just pushing up, having all of your weight on that affected side, and then back down. Now we're really aiming for at least as many steps as you have. There's about 10 here, but I'll be adding in a couple for good measure just to make sure that we can definitely complete it with no problems at all. Now, a step up as an exercise is one of the best ways that you can work on quadricep strength and glute strength. So if you did want to do it as a specific strength exercise, I'd be aiming for between 8 to 12 repetitions of around 3 sets. So you do 12, 30-second rest, another 12, 30-second rest. If you did want to make it more challenging as an exercise, rather than stepping back down, just come back down and just tap that foot on the floor rather than having a rest in between. So you're just going to touch and come back up. And that way, the affected leg is getting less rest in between each repetition. If you wanted to make it harder again, you could just stretch the left leg out further behind you. So that right leg is going to go deeper into a sort of single leg squat position. So you're going to tap further out behind you and then come back up. Tap further out behind you and then come back up. Now, if you can do 3 lots of 12 of that with minimal discomfort, then you are going to be well on your way to using the stairs completely normally, going up. But we can also practice coming down, because actually that is often harder than coming up. It involves a lot more strength and control in your quadriceps. But we're going to practice it in exactly the same way as we did going up. Break it down, build back up again. So find your bottom step at home. We're going to be facing downstairs this time. So you can see this time the affected leg is the left leg. Again, start off holding with both hands so you feel nice and safe and nice and secure. Make sure you've got as much of your foot on the step as possible. Unaffected leg is going to be out in front of you, and we're just going to aim for 25%, 50% of the movement. We are aiming for this because that's what you're going to need to do to achieve going down one at a time. But for the first couple, we're just going to go drop the heel below the step just slightly and then come back up. Drop the heel below the step just slightly, and come back up. And you can build that up in exactly the same way as we did going up the stairs. As your symptoms decrease, as you gain a bit more strength and confidence, then you can start going lower down. So we might be 75% and back up, 75% and back up. And then when you feel comfortable, you can go all the way down and back up, all the way down and back up. Now, all of those progressions may take a number of weeks for you to build up to a level that you feel comfortable with, and that's absolutely fine, but the key is slow, gradual progression. Similarly with the step up, doing a step down is a really good functional exercise that you can incorporate into your knee or hip osteoarthritis rehab. And the progressions would be the same. You can decrease how much you're holding on, and you can also give this leg less rest in between each repetition. So rather than stepping and coming up, you can do a toe tap and back up, toe tap and back up. You could also step further out in front. So you're gonna have to get lower at the knee and the hip, tap that foot out in front, and that'll be a lot harder, but it'll mean you're able to use the stairs significantly easier than you were before. I'd love to hear from you, so do let me know whether you've struggled with stairs because of your osteoarthritis and how you managed to overcome it. If you have found today's video helpful, do like it to show your appreciation, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It means you'll get notified every time I release a new osteoarthritis help video, which I do every single week. It also means hopefully more people will see the video that you found helpful. Whilst you're doing that, I'll see you in the next one.